Now again, I'm going to make the stack S. Stack from, I want the stack from util package, not my older one, stack. And in that stack, I want to create one object that is new stack. Again, S dot, there's a one method called push. I want to push the item that is Rahul. All the method also available here in this phenomena. S dot push. As you see, lots of method respect to the stack is available here. Peek, pop, push. But these methods are coming from the vector class. Check it out. This is the vector class method. This is the vector class method. This is the stack class method. This is the vector class method. This is the vector class. So I'm adding once more push, and I'm adding one over here. But if I'm going to print sysout S, then it is allowed, insertion order is preserved here. Run as Java application and check it out. Insertion order is preserved. But question comes into the mind. If it is a stack, why it is not following the phenomena? Because here we are printing the whole object. But if I am going to delete one by one, we have to use the method the pop. If you are popping the first element, see what is the output here? Run as Java application and check it out. The output is 1. Means the value which is inserted after the Rahul is deleted or extracted first. So that is the only phenomena achieved through the stack. Rest all are similar for array list. Rest all are phenomena it follows of array list because it is a super child class of all the classes. It is a child of collection as well. It is a child of a list. It is a child of vector class as well. So stack which follow some phenomena that is last in first line. Now I am switching on to the next, that is cursors. What is the requirement of cursors? Till now what we are doing actually, that is, let's suppose I am going to our previous example, that is vector. That is our previous example. And I am adding null here. But let's check it out. Is there any method in the vector? Check it out. Is there any method which is removing the element one by one according to our logic? Let us assume I want to add 10 elements in this vector class one by one. So what we have to do? We have to use, let's suppose, for and in that int I is equal to 0, semicolon, I is less than 10 and I plus plus. I want to insert all the 10 elements in my vector. Then what we have to do? V dot add element. And I'm going to insert I. Then what happened here? After adding all the element into that vector, all the element is printed. Now I'm going to execute it. Run on Java application. Check it out. All the 10 elements are printed starting from 0 to 9. But certain, I am having a requirement. What is the requirement? After adding all the values, I want to print only those elements which are even. Or I want to remove those elements which are odd. Then how it is happen in my case? Then we have to need of the cursors. There is no such kind of methods is available in the vector class so that we can apply some logic on that. I want to extract one by one and check it out and apply one by one. So these kind of operation, if we want, then we can go for the cursors. We can use cursor to retrieve objects one by one from my collection object. So there are three kinds of cursors available in my Java collection framework. What are those? That are enumeration, iterator, and the list iterator. All the cursor have its own advantage and disadvantage. We are learning one by one about these cursors. The very first cursor is enumeration. We can use enumeration to retrieve element collection one by one. One thing have to note, all the cursor have the same task. What are the same tasks is retrieve the object from the collection one by one. So what we are do, the enumeration having the same task, but there is some advantage and disadvantage you have to take care. So enumeration, first limitation of the vector, how the object of that enumeration is created. Check it out. In the vector class, there is a one method. That method name is element. See, there is a one method elements. It is returning an enumeration type object. It is returning this elements method. It is returning the enumeration type object. So what we have to do with this enumeration? If you want to create enumeration that is available in java.util.package, but you cannot create new enumeration like that. There is no such kind of availability is there. Enumeration is not a class. It is an interface. So interface is not created as object. So the declaration, the definition, the extension, the implementation of this enumeration interface is available in each of the collection class. So we are going to create what object I want to iterate. I want to iterate my vector class V, and through this vector V I can create an object of enumeration. Then what we have to do, V dot I have to call elements method. This elements method is returning back to me an enumeration object which is holded by that particular reference variable. One by one I have to iterate. That this enumeration method having two methods. Those are has more elements and next element. So what we have to do, we have to use while in that case. We want to iterate throughout the collection. We want to iterate throughout this collection and check out the condition till the collection is fully traversed. Then I have an enumeration object and I have to check it E dot has more elements. The has more elements is giving the true value and false value. If the collection is having elements in that, then it is returning true. And if the collection, all the element of the collection is traversed, then it is returning false. E dot has more element. Is there any more elements to traverse? Then it is returning true. E dot has more element. If the elements are not available in the vector list that are fully traversed, then it is returning false. Then what we have to do? We have to fetch one collection, one object of the collection and check it out. Then I have to write if E dot next element. What this next element is doing? E dot next element. The return type of this collection is, say, check it out. Next element is of type E. Then what we have to do? We have to convert this E into a type integer because I want that. So I am converting my integer into integer I. So I am writing here inside this integer I, and it is converting in integer. And again, I am going to check if the I is model because I want to print only even values. Then I modulus 2, that is a very basic programming, if is equal to 0, then we can say that the value is integer. And I'm going to print, if that is happen, then I have to print sysout I. And I'm commenting this element here. And what happened here? Check it out. Run as Java example. Check it out. In my collection, all the elements are available. What this looping is done, it is printing only, it is printing only the even values. And again, I am printing my whole vector. All the elements are still available in my collection. Then, so this type of, if we want this type of programming, then we can go for the enumeration. If I want to access one by one element to my from my collection, then we can use such kind of cursors. But what are some limitations is also available in this case. So what are the limitations? We cannot perform removal operation. Let us assume my programming is saying that if, let us assume I want to say that my programming is like that. I want to remove the odd elements from my collection. That's what we have to do, because this method is having, this enumeration is having only two methods, that is has more elements and next element. There is no such kind of methods to so that we can remove the object from my collection. Then the second limitation only used in legacy classes. The enumeration is the iterator we can apply only on legacy classes such as vector or stack. We cannot perform these enumeration, we cannot iterate through this enumeration cursor of any other class. Let's say array list is not going to use this enumeration cursor. Hence, we can go for the iterator cursor. What is the iterator cursor? It is also used for the same purpose, but check it out here. The remove method is also there. The iterator cursor work on any of the collection class. It can work on array list, it can work on legacy classes, it can work or set any of the collection class. We can use iterator. So in our programming, I have a question. What is the question? I want to remove all the odd elements from my collection. So what we have to do? If I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, the condition is changed. Then what I want to remove. So in place of enumeration, I have to use iterator. So what we have to do? That iterator I, or you can say I am checking again, E is equal to V. V is my object of vector class dot iterator is a method, so that I can get the object. Why it is showing an error? Because we have to import that iterator class. Then what you have to do? Control 1. Control 1, it is showing. It is an interface, so I am adding this. Now, so it is not having has more element. There is a one method. That method name is has next, and in place of next element, we are using next over here. See out, check it out. So in the place of has more element, it's showing an error. Now I have to use e dot as next. Is there an element? Is there any element? So we can do. So I dot next. What next is doing? Next is returning the same object is there. If I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, then what you want? You want to remove such method, such object from the array. Then what you have to do? Then e dot remove method is there. I am removing such method. Now check it out. I am printing the whole vector first, and I am printing the vector at last. After removing, we want only even numbers in my collection. Then what we have to do? Check it out. Run as Java application. This is my output. Before removal, that the whole element are printed. But after removal, only even values are available in my vector. So what is the advantage of iterator cursor? It is for all the collection classes. Any collection class can use this, and we can also remove the element using this iterator cursor. Then there is one more disadvantage is there. What is that? The limitations. We can perform only retrieve and remove operations. What if I want to change the object? Let us assume wherever the even numbers are there, I want to add +1 and make them even. Then that is not possible in the case of iterator. Enumeration and iterator are the only for the move in forward direction. One more limitations are there. Both the cursors, previous cursor, are moving in the forward direction. Hence, the list iterator comes into the picture. The list iterator is a cursor in which we can we can move backward direction as well. But what one is the limitation of the list iterator is it can work only on list type collections. Means whatever the collections are available under the child of this list, that collection can only use that list iterator. Why is this? Because list iterator is preserving an order. Rest all other collection classes are not preserving orders. Then again, we are using in the same class. So these are the 9 methods available inside list iterators. What are those? There has next, next, has previous, previous. Has next and next are the same as iterator, but has previous, we can check is there previous element, which is जिसको हमने अभी अभी traverse किया है. Fetch out that, we can use that. Next index, what is the next index? What is the previous index of my current object? We want to remove, we can use remove. We want to change the object, we can change. We want to add the object, we can add as well. It is the most powerful iterator cursor, but it can applicable only on list. Hence, we can discuss all these things, and you have to hands-on do this on your programming at your home. Tomorrow, we are going to discuss about sets and linked has set. Till then, bye-bye.